can always tell when a streak's going to come to an end. You win a couple of games, you probably shouldn't.
There are teams out there that could use that quality of playoff goaltending. All right, to do this?
Yep, let's go.
Powered by Red Media in partnership with TSN, it is Season 7 of the Ray and Dregs Hockey Podcast, presented by our title sponsor, Tim Hortons. The Tim's NHL Hockey Challenge is back. It's in the Tim Hortons app. You have a chance to win daily and monthly prizes for picking players who you think will score. Plus, there's a chance to win a new Hyundai Tucson as part of the season-end grand prize. Canadians, you can also try and keep a 7-day streak alive and win a free coffee or tea for a week. You can check it all out, timhortons.ca, for a full list of prizes. And we're not gonna give too much away here, Ray. You know, because the Ray and Dregs, platform, yourself, myself, Zuby, Ryan Rishaug, Randine, all participating in this Tim's Hockey Challenge. It's gonna come right down to the wire, so we'll save it to the end of the podcast. But it's a tip of the hat to you, my friend, because
grind.
You've turned it up at the right time, and you're taking advantage of my bumbling and fumbling about. So,
Dregs, it's all about the grind. It's all about the grind. The season's long. You can't give up on it.
No.
I'm confident now that I can make this last minute push.
Okay. Well, we'll revisit and we'll throw out the numbers, and that'll set us up for tonight, Thursday night, and going into the weekend. Round 1 of the Masters. Is this arguably, or is it definitively, your favorite weekend of the year from a golf perspective?
Not even close. It is by far the best. I would say then the British Open, because the best part about the British Open is I can get up at 4 a.m. and watch it, and then start my day when I finished watching it at 9 a.m. Like I love the history. But the Masters is it's a fabulous place. I hope to get there one day, and man, I love watching it. I don't know if you watched a little par 3 yesterday, but
I did.
Little Frankie Fleetwood, he's trying to hit that ball. He's 8 years old. He's trying to hit it over the water. He's like, well, maybe next year I'll come back and I'll get it. I'm getting closer. And it's so kid, cool. Man. Is he ever? So good.
Well, and you can see, like, again, what do I know about a really nice golf swing? I mean, obviously Dad is, one of the best players on the planet, but Frankie isn't that far away from, looking like he's got some serious game. I think by the time when he took the second swipe at it, man, who wasn't cheering for that kid to get that ball on the green? It's so cute.
It must look like it's 500 yards to him, like sitting there. It must look so far. But anyway, I love the tournament. I love the history, and I will be on patrol this week.
Yeah, I'm in a pool with a collection of buddies, and it's a weird pool. So you couldn't take Rory, you couldn't take Scotty Scheffler. I'm trying to think. I guess probably just those two were omitted, because if you get first picker overall, you're probably taking Scotty Scheffler.
Remember, people used to do that in the pool with Gretzky. They'd have the Gretzky pool. Yeah, because otherwise, if you got him, you won.
Yeah, so it's $50 each. You only select one player. And it was, it wasn't a snake pool or a draft or anything like that. My buddy just said, hey, $50 in, sent it to like 7 dudes, and said, okay, first guy in, throw your selection out there, and away we go. And that's kind of how it worked. So I was kind of late to the party, and I think I ended up getting my selection in like 4th or 5th. I ended up with Adam Scott, which, not
going to happen.
Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Yeah. Although, and I shouldn't even tell this story. The players, that was the last one, right? The last big one is the players before this, like a month. It was during the GM meetings. Patrick Allvin of the Vancouver Canucks. Did I tell you this story? Sitting outside, there was a collection of GMs by the pool bar after their meeting. So we're all watching. I guess it was the final round. And you remember, of course, Ludwig Oberg had what did he have? Like a 4-shot lead making the turn on the final round, something like that. And Allvin, who doesn't know Oberg, literally says, he points to his noodle And he goes, I'm not so sure he's got it. Like, and I'm like, pardon? Like one
Well,
Swede calling out another? Like, where are we going with this? And I was like,
this
uh, and like he hits it in the pond, maybe the next hole, and then the hole after that. I'm looking at Alvin and I'm like, buddy, this is on you. But he's like,
yeah.
sorry, I just called it. He's not quite ready to be that mentally tough yet.
I um it must be an amazing thing, though, the pressure of being
Oh,
out front like that. They interviewed about 8 or 10 players. I saw the little thing, and they said if a really good amateur player
I saw
had
that.
the lead on Sunday, how many
Yeah.
shots would they
Yeah.
need to be in front? And they were saying like 40.
I think
Could
John
you
Rahm
imagine?
changed to like 100, didn't he? He was
Yeah.
like, come
There,
on.
because no, but Rom's like 11, no chance. 12,
Yeah.
nope, they can't get. And so he goes 13. They could be on that green for half the day. It was awesome. And so, could you imagine you're out there with a 35 shot lead, and
Yeah.
oh geez, I made an 8 on that hole, and the guy made a 3. Oh boy, like that's I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it's pretty cool. It'd be pretty
So I
fun.
don't want to misquote James Duthie because he's played Augusta National before as part of the
Couple times.
coverage. There's that media draw as you're very familiar with. I don't want to misquote him, but I think he has said to our small group, it's not that tough. What makes it tough is, of course, the Sunday greens and then just the pressure of everything that goes into Sunday the Masters. But I'm not so sure about, again, to hear John Rahm methodically take us through, okay, this hole, you got no chance. Over that hole, nope, it's not, you're not getting here into like all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not so sure James was right with his assessment of it's not that tough. So we'll have to
yeah. I'm
revisit that.
not. I think James is making up stories. I do.
Well, he's going to be mad I said that, but
Well, the other part is I don't think they're playing the same tee boxes. That
probably not. No. All right,
yeah,
quick.
that
Who's
might.
winning?
Let's get
Who's
going.
your favorite?
Uh, Oberg. I'm going to take him. I
I
like
mean,
him. He's
he's
got a
got so
he's
much
got a
game.
great he's got a great
Yeah.
swing. He would be my under the radar guy. I don't know. I do think McIlroy can win again, even though he's not
Agreed.
in the best
Yeah.
form. I don't think he's in the best form, but I would say the guy my heart wants to win is Tommy Fleetwood.
Mm, that's
I just
awesome.
think he
Yeah.
just looks like a great guy. He looks, I don't know, and he's close. He's close, man.
He was
Yeah,
close.
I would love to see him win, and then his kid can run out, and I think it would be just awesome. I
Yeah.
think he's got a chance.
Yeah. Aside from the top dogs, like again,
Yeah,
Scotty Scheffler, Rory, I think
yeah.
of course has a chance.
But
Xander Schauffele to me is ready. He's gonna roll.
Chef,
That's right.
and I guess it doesn't particularly matter, but Scheffler hasn't played great by his
No,
standard, and
right.
then he could go and shoot 68 today, and you're like, oh, I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't know, it'll be awesome. It'll be awesome again.
Crunch time in the NHL race. So let's get to the headlines brought to us by the
Yep.
Canadian Brewhouse. Real fans, so the
Yeah.
move, you arrive early. That's what you do. Happy hour at the Canadian Brewhouse runs Monday to Saturday, 2 to 6 p.m., starting at $3.99. You skip the couch and hit the Canadian Brewhouse, your home for every puck drop, every goal, and of course, every cheer. This hockey season, their house, the Canadian Brewhouse, is your arena. Tough loss for the San Jose Sharks on Wednesday night, but man, did they run into a superstar in Connor McDavid, who factored into every Edmonton Oilers
Yeah.
goal. Scored the hat trick in the 5-2 Oilers win. McDavid's third 130-point season. So he has, as we record, 133 points. Just incredible, right? But then you dive into the history books and you see that he's tied with Marcel Dion, who also had 3 130 plus seasons. Mario Lemieux, 6 130 plus seasons. Wayne Gretzky had 13, right?
Yeah.
13. I don't know why that makes me chuckle, or even I'm a little bit surprised. It's just I'm thinking, well, Mario was a pretty good player. Like Lemieux was a good player. And there's a pretty big gap between 6 and 13. So it's doable for Connor, but he's got some work ahead of him.
What, to get to 6?
Well, or to 13. I mean, he's at 3 now. Yeah.
Well, he's going to get 10 more? Come on.
Well, in his career, how do you know?
He's 20, what is he, 27?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's a lot.
You did see his interview after the game where he said, it was quite a milestone night that he scored his 408th goal, and he was pretty excited about that. I told you it wouldn't last a week.
No,
I told you, like when
right.
you brought it up last week, I'm like, we might do it this week. But when, like the goal he scored the previous game when he up in Utah and he chipped it off the boards and went around the D and then cut to the net and scored like on the power play. Like when there's a space of, a sliver of space, there's nobody in the game that can, not even McKinnon. Like he cannot do it the same way. And he's the most special player to watch. Like man, when he gets a lucky break on one goal and you're like, oh yeah, like he needed that. But he's just so much better than everybody else. And I guess the only concern out of it for last night is Ingram tweaked something and Dickinson, I guess they got to hope his foot's not broken and, or whatever they're looking, that didn't look great. That one looked like it hurt. And here you are, you get down to these last 4 or 5 games and everybody's fighting for position, but damn, they just want to get there as healthy as they can be. I mean, just give yourself a chance. And it kind of felt like the moment was a little big for San Jose.
A little bit.
And that I think that's to be expected.
Yeah. Look, I mean, every player tries over the course of the year. That's obvious. They're professional athletes here. But is this again exhibit A of the season is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And Connor McDavid, not that, again, of course, he wants to win every game. He wants to score every shift. That's how he's wired. That's in his DNA. But it does get to a point in this year where you can smell the playoffs, right? And you know that there's a switch that has to get flipped. Everybody has to flip it, not just Connor McDavid. It's just when he flips that switch, it's to another level that most in the league you just can't appreciate or understand. Well, they can appreciate it. They just don't understand how to get there.
Well, because they can't. It's like, you're driving a little car and a Ferrari drives past you and you're like, yeah, I'm going as fast as I can. It's like, that's just the way it is. Right. Like I've always been amazed by the very best players, how much better they are than the rest of the league. Like I'm talking about the very greats of the game, because it's not like when you're in Pee Wee where, some 12-year-old's way better than a bunch of other 12-year-olds. Like that's different. That's, kids grow up different and, are stronger earlier or whatever it is. But this is the best of the best and they're still that much better. It's a remarkable thing. But here's one thing I will say about the sprint and the marathon. Everything has gone pretty well for Anaheim until about the last 3 weeks. And they're 0-5-1. And a lot of the work they did earlier in the year is undone at this point. And they're now like just scrambling to try and right the ship to get into the playoffs.
Okay. So as we're having this conversation, mostly McDavid driven, I get a text message from the head of Rev Media, Ryan Rashog. And he's like, can I interrupt quick? Question, McDavid clip and question. So I'm going to allow it. This is a one-time
Do you even
thing.
know what it is?
No idea. But let's bring in Ryan Rashog so he can
interject. Maybe Donna was there to vet the clip because we have spoken to her today. And,
we're going to deal with that and ask Ray and Dregs later what happened with my mother this morning and you guys. We're going to deal with that in a couple of minutes. Dregs, I wasn't asking. I was informing you I was going to interrupt. I am the head of this thing. I just heard a clip.
You literally said, can I interrupt with a question mark?
I just heard a clip. I was listening back to McDavid's interview this morning. Ray. I don't know if I've heard a player say this before, But this is McDavid talking about back-to-backs, and I just found this really interesting.
I've grown to kind of like back-to-backs a lot this year. There's just something about them that I've been feeling really, really good in them. I feel on right away, and tonight that was certainly the case.
Back-to-backs and really liking them, Ray. I feel like I haven't heard a lot of players, say that.
No, you're correct for sure. Like I would say part of the back-to-back thing, like there is a physical part to it, right? Like um, the other day, I mean, they're last in the league, so it probably wouldn't have mattered. But Vancouver played in Denver, and then the next night played in Minnesota. We got to the hotel at about 2:30, right? Like it's just like physically, you're just you're toast. But the other part is I think people have become conditioned to go to discuss about how difficult it is to play, and you never look at it in that mindset. If you look at teams on back-to-back nights, one of the biggest fallacies is that the team, they don't have their legs, they got to get their legs. Lots of times on the back-to-back, the team will be better in the first part of the game before they lose their gas. Like, I don't really know why, but early in the game, they've got it. But I've not heard anybody say, like, I kind of like it. Now, if you could skate like that probably doesn't hurt. But it's an interesting thing. Some teams just do not fare very well at all on the back-to-back side. Like they get crushed, and it's I think as much mental as it is physical.
Let's move on to the cut line in the West, Ray. And you talked about maybe the moment being a little bit too big for the San Jose Sharks, right? So San Jose now trails Nashville by 3 with 5 games left. The Preds have 4 games. Utah, Minnesota, San Jose, and Anaheim left. San Jose will face the Ducks, the Canucks, the Predators, the Blackhawks, and then they wrap up, as we talked about on Tuesday, against the Winnipeg Jets. By point structure, it's obvious that it's Nashville's playoff spot to lose, but expand a little bit on that moment too big idea with San Jose, because that extra game, it literally could come down to that as to who gets in the West.
The too big part becomes that you when you get stressed, like in the game, like you're pulled as tight as you can. When you're younger, I think you're more liable to hit the panic button. As like when you go to the bench, I always found this to be super interesting, is that I'd look up and I'd see the clock, and there'd be 14 minutes left in the third period. And then you'd take a shift, and then the next time you get a second to look up, there's 8 minutes. And you're like, where the hell did that go? Like, where did that 6 minutes go? We didn't score. We're in the same place, but now 6 minutes are gone. And as you get older, you realize, that's just a couple of rotations. You've still got a couple of shifts left. You're able to relax a little bit more. I mean, you feel it, but I think there's so much that goes through the young players' hands in San Jose. They'll be better for this. They still can make it, but it just feels like to me that they're not quite there yet. They're just not quite there. Their defense gets exposed, and their goaltending can be really up and down. In particular, you've got Nedeljkovic, who played last night. He's a nice veteran, like a 2 goalie.
Yeah.
But that means everything else has to fall on a kid in Askarov who just doesn't have enough experience yet. They don't even know what he's going to be. They hope he's going to be a franchise goalie, but they don't know.
They don't know.
And he's got to play lots of games while they're trying to figure that out.
So let's go over to the East, where Ottawa, again, is holding on to that spot. A 2-point edge there in the East. Do you think the Columbus Blue Jackets have the intestinal fortitude, the wherewithal to catch them? Or is this more about Ottawa playing a pretty solid brand of hockey right now?
Okay, as I look at it, if Omar gives them a B+ game, not an A game, like a B+ game, Ottawa makes it.
Okay.
I just, nobody seems to get very many chances against Ottawa. They don't. Ottawa's had if you look at almost any metric besides goaltending,
Yeah,
Ottawa should not be in the position they're in.
that's very true. Yeah.
So if the goaltending just holds up, doesn't have to carry them under any circumstance. It feels like they've got enough. They're healthy enough. They get Sanderson back the other night, and he scores 2 goals. I gotta say, now this will be past a lot of people that are listening to us, but when I saw Sanderson score his second goal the other night, he went flying up the middle of the ice, got the pass from Tkachuk, and I thought just for a second, oh my God, does he look like his dad? Like,
Jeff.
Like that bolt of speed, that looked like what Jeff Sanderson looked like. And I was like, oh my God, it was so cool. I watched that same clip a couple of times. I'm like, because I thought, oh, maybe I just made it up. And then I watched it and I'm like, oh my God, that's totally what his dad looked like. It was, man, were they pumped to get him back in the lineup?
Like he
Guy's
does
a difference
so many
maker for him. Yeah. Difference maker for him.
Every part of their game. So I was listening to Frankie Corrado on Ottawa radio. And the word believe is being tossed around a lot by the group, right? Travis has talked about the believe inside the dressing room. The players have talked about it. Now the media is feeding off of it. Is that real? Like, I'm sure you've experienced it, but in layman's terms, what does it mean? Because it sure sounds cliche, but players, management, coaches, and now media talk about it, not just specific to Ottawa, but in this case, it does apply to Ottawa.
Well, I guess it would be the same as when people talk about confidence or, something that you can't touch. And there's a vibe, a feeling. Same when a team plays poorly, you walk in the locker room and you just feel it. Like if you're around the team, you just feel the heaviness. And when you're around the team that's rolling, guys are lighter. They believe that no matter what comes their way, they're going to find a way to win. Because when you don't have it, you feel like you're going to find a way to lose. When there's almost, say a bad bounce goes in when you're going poorly.
Yeah.
The thought is, yeah, well, of course it went in, right? You're in that.
Yeah.
You're like, of course, man. And then when a puck bounces around and hits the goalpost and stays out, you don't even look at it when you're going well. You're like, well, that's the way it's supposed to be, right? So they look, and I'm sure they probably go, well, Stutzla's having a great year, and Tkachuk's on a really good run. We got Sanderson back, the goalie's back. We've won pretty consistently of late. Like we feel like we're going to win every night, and it's the coolest feeling because it's not one guy; it's a bunch of guys that feel that. And so I think they're in a. I mean, I know it's 2 points. I mean, Columbus the other night. How about, let's say Columbus gets in.
Yeah.
The other night they're losing in Detroit and Fantilli scores with 19 seconds left. Throws a dagger into Detroit. And then they win in the shootout.
Yeah.
Like, what if that's the one goal that puts them over the top? Like
could be.
It's pretty clear the margins are razor sharp.
Yeah. And you know what? Like Ottawa needs something good, right? Like, I mean, there's been so much stuff that's gone on around this organization, certainly this year, but I mean, historically speaking as well. So if the believe is real, and to your point, the goaltending and Linus Ullmark can give them that B+ goaltending, I mean, who knows? The East is just about as wide open as it's been in a long, long time, right? I mean, anything is possible.
Well, I would guess if I look at it really, Carolina's the one that feels like a sure, like know what you're going to get from them. They're the one team right now. Buffalo, there would be, for me, the inexperience and the first time in, and hell, it could go great or it might not. But like there's a question there. Tampa's got at least 3 forwards out right now, and they feel like they're just limping into the playoffs.
It does feel that way.
And so you're like, well, I don't know about them. And so I'll tell you the team that I think I'm most interested in right now is Montreal, because nobody really talks about them much. And there they are.
No.
They got 102 points. They got good goaltending. They're fast.
Yep.
They have a playoff series under their belt. And they gave Washington freaking pain in the ass last year in the
Yeah.
first round.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, they're kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know if they're quite there, but man, that's an interesting team.
Couple of non-game related items that I wanted to get into here in the Canadian Brewhouse headlines. Where are you at in the play-by-play process of teams interviewing, asking for permission, all of that? I mean, are you interested, or you want who just goes, Toronto, hire your person. New Jersey, you hire your guy. Nashville, tired of hearing about it, hire somebody. Like, where are you into it? Because I just saw Pierre LeBrun tweeting about the Maple Leafs and the New Jersey Devils both asking and receiving permission to speak with Sonny Maeda from the Florida Panthers,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean,
Well,
not
I think
surprising,
it's like,
right?
but it's like anything else you guys do, like the insiders. It's like, it's news, you report
Yeah.
it, and it's going on. So people want to know about it, I guess. But as far as the speed of it, everybody wants the decision today. There's no reason to make a decision today. There's weeks before you have to make a decision. Now, so here's something. When you leave a team, say Sonny Mehta gets the job in either Toronto or New Jersey, just to say,
Sure.
he is not allowed to take all the scouting
No.
records of the Florida Panthers. So whatever those teams have accumulated in Toronto and New Jersey with their head scout and all the work they've been doing this year, he walks in and helps manage that. But the head scout's doing the job. Now, he would have information in his brain, right? So he would
Yeah.
have, points of support and things, but it's not like the point is, it's not like it's a rush that guy's got to get in there because of the draft. The
Yeah.
draft's going to run itself by what's happening over the previous 10 months. Like that's already in motion. Maybe you change your list a little bit, and maybe he's got some different ideas of how to compile the information that the new team has. But he can't take the old team stuff. That's proprietary stuff that stays.
Okay, last thing here. I had a playoff idea sent to me yesterday, and less about playoff, more about the format and creating another event-driven spectacle. So it would be the design of a playoff selection day. So the format would see the 4 division winners and the next best record from each conference meet for a selection day, probably a day or two after the conclusion of the regular season, right? So you'd end up with 6 teams, right? And it would reward regular season success. So furthermore, so you'd have the league's best record, whomever that is, East or West, doesn't matter. So if you've got the best record in the National Hockey League at the end of the regular season, you get to select your first round playoff opponent from the seeding of team 5 to 8. Right? Then the best record in East or West would pick from 5 to 8 in the other conference, right? Then the division winner chooses from the 3 remaining, again, East or West. Then the next division winner chooses, again, 3 remaining, East or West. Then finally, the next best record in the conference selects from the final 2, and the 4th seed gets the team that was left unchosen. Now, I read this, and I read it like 3-4 times, and then I had to have a conversation with the person who sent it to me, because I like the idea of the spectacle, because I could envision this on ESPN, whatever network, the drama that would go into it. There'd be money that was made in the process. In our lifetimes, do you ever see the National Hockey League adopting a format where you'd get to select your first round playoff opponent?
In my grandson's lifetime, I do not see that happening.
Why?
Because there are a couple reasons. One, the higher seed would take all of the risk. And you say, yeah, you get supported by it. So, Dregs, do you have the standings in front of you right now?
I don't, but I mean, I
Okay,
can get
so
them pretty quick.
and no, but I just want to. So in the East, the top seed I think has 106 points.
All right, conference, correct. Carolina, 106 points.
Okay,
yeah.
And in the 8th spot is how much?
Philadelphia is 92.
So you're looking at 15 points.
Yeah,
that's basically one win a month.
Okay,
it's not like you're selecting a team from a different, some crappy team.
Right.
So I don't think there's, I don't think first of all, I don't think the higher seeds would say, yeah, I want to accept that risk. If they want, if they want to have something instead of making it a game, if they wanted to have something to make the regular season mean something, have a play in between 8 and 9. I think you want more revenue. That's one way to do it. I think you should seed 1 to 8. The top 2 seeds get 1 and 2 seeds.
Right.
And then but when you get into I felt like I was in chemistry 11 right there and listening, and the teacher was like droning on, and I'm like, I got no idea what's going on.
But think about it this way, a couple of different factors that would come into play. All right. So if you're the top team, and automatically people would say, well, why wouldn't you take the 8th seed? Well, I mean, maybe that 8th seed was on a heater, like 1, 5, 6, 8 games, whatever it was, to make into the playoffs. They've got full momentum
like Philly,
on their side.
Right? Like Philly.
I don't want to deal with that. Or maybe you take the Oilers as an example, a really, really good team. Probably wouldn't with Connor McDavid coming off a 5-point performance on Wednesday night. But if Leon Draisaitl isn't healthy, or better yet, if you're the opposition isn't ready to go, maybe you go, you know what? This might be the best crack we're going to have at the Oilers in the let's take him right out of you know what I'm saying? Like there's other games.
No, I hear that. Yeah. That's awesome for fantasy football and fantasy hockey standings and all that stuff. But
it's not going to fly. It's not going to fly. No. I liked how you qualified, because I was thinking, as long as the commissioner, Gary Bettman, is in office, it's never happening. We know this. I mean, we're having this conversation just in jest and out of fun. Yeah. But when you said my grandson's lifetime, it's not going to happen. Yeah. So the scout who presented it to me is going to listen to this episode. And his heart is going to hit the floor. And I will tell you offline who it is, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to share his identity.
I'm also not creative enough to come up with a system like this. So this stuff, I'm like, I can't even understand it.
That's good stuff. All right. Those are your headlines. Thank you to the Canadian Brew House.
It feels like Tim Hortons has always been part of my routine, certainly as a dad, as a coach, or taking my kids to the early morning hockeys. Had to go through the drive-thru and get my cup of coffee and get the Timbits for the kids. Can I get a medium coffee with milk, please? Then even driving into studio now at TSN, if I don't go through the drive-thru, get my medium coffee with milk, I feel like my routine has been interrupted.
Here's your coffee.
Thank you.
Right there, guys.
You too. Only way to start a day.
Ask Ray and Dregs anything set to fly. We've got Ryan Rashog, who's clicking in from Donna's house, and sounds like the home renovations are going well. The linoleum is just being rolled out. What else? What was the
particle board countertop? Yep,
yeah, there was a name for it. I wanted to say like Arborite or something, but I don't think
no,
that's right.
No, it wasn't Arborite.
Melamine or something.
Melamine.
Like
so do you have the green and gold linoleum like we all had in our kitchens and when we were growing up? What are you doing?
Avocado.
Anyway.
Did you get your bathrooms done, or are you holding on to the avocado colored tub?
Okay, this is all fun and everything. We got a serious issue we got to address here. Like, what happened before this show when I invited I was so excited because I'm staying here at my mom's house while we're having some stuff done. And she often makes comments to me about you being pretty mean to me, Dregs. Like, for years, she's listened to you on various radio stations around town. She's like, man, and I have 3 brothers. So she knows what chirps sound like. She has pointed you out as being a little mean to me. So I finally invited her in here this morning in our pre-tape session to kind of have her say, I thought for sure Donna was going to step up. I was excited. No. I'm like, my big brother's coming to the playground and my bully is going to get hammered. How that resulted in you asking my mother, are you going to fund Ryan's trip to Turkey? And her laughing. My world is shut. I am rocked right now. I don't know how that happened.
When I think so people understand, she said, oh, I've been looking for a way to bring that up in conversation, Ryan.
Crushing.
That was amazing.
My mom jumping in with the bullies and on. This is some formative stuff for me. At 48 years old here, I feel I'm still anyway.
You're only 48?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to get to Turkey, man. Jesus, you got to get there fast.
Ray, you're not throwing that stone. You put that rock down on the ground and pretend you never even saw it, Ray.
I'm a decade and a bit older than you. This happens as you get older. I've been staring at that
same head of hair since you were doing color in Edmonton in a decade of darkness.
Exactly. It has not changed. The feathers, they fall out as you walk down the street. It's like.
First question comes to us from a gentleman named Ted Anderson. A bit of a longer one, but I like this question. He says, listener from day one, first-time question submitter. Long-time Wild fan, I have 2 distinct memories that lead me to my question. The first was feeling like Brent Burns made big strides as a kid in his game during the 2 seasons that Keith Carney was here. The second was when it felt like a young Jonas Brodin was apprenticing as partner to Ryan Suter. So here's my question. To what extent do players develop as products of the players they're surrounded by? Does Pavel Datsyuk get even better because his first 2 years overlap with Fedorov's last 2 in Detroit? Going one-on-one with Lidstrom at every practice, you get the picture. And do you have any examples of teammates who were key in your development, Ray? Perhaps Landon's or even Tony Granado's. Other players that you know well. Thank you for making the show so fun, from Ted in Minnesota.
I think the stuff that you can learn from another player is because you're around them all the time. You see them do things and you're like, oh, I've never done that before. I've never thought of it like that. I could make maybe I could make a little bit of a change. It could be something like one of those guys gives you an older guy gives you something about your stick. Like, hey, have you thought of moving your curve up to the toe of your stick? And I'm just thinking offhand, like face-offs, I learned a lot from older players. Brent Peterson was a centerman I played with in Hartford, and he was the first guy. I was 2 years old, 23 years old, and he's like, why do you take your face-offs like that? Let me show you. And I was, oh my God, I never learned. So it doesn't always have to be the best player, but it can be somebody that's willing to help, because that's not always the case. Sometimes as guys get older, they become more inward. They're protecting their job. What can Suter, okay, so Brodin would watch Suter and watch how he goes back for a puck and how he moves it up, how he turns and pivots on a forward. Those things while your coaches are giving it to you, you see it in real time. I think that's where you learn most from the players you play with, is watching them do it and seeing how you can apply it to your own game.
Yeah, and an example of, I think about when Taylor Hall and Jordan Eberle and those guys were young players here in Edmonton. I think one of the things that was maybe lacking during that time, Dregs, and you can maybe speak to how hard they were trying, but they didn't really have those star veteran players that were older.
Yeah.
That those guys were kind of flying on their own there a little bit. The birds
100%.
Jumped out of the nest.
Yeah, it's a fair point, and that's why we continue to circle around Connor Bedard, right, and the Chicago Blackhawks, and just how his development. I wouldn't say being impeded, because that's not fair to the players in Chicago by and large. But how much better could be, or will he be, if he had better players to play with, or players who were different in that regard, Ray?
So the Bedard and Taylor Hall and Eberle and that's really applicable, because you basically get thrown in the deep end. You're the best player on the team.
Yeah.
So now you're playing the other team's best players all the time, and you get your teeth kicked in. If you had a way to insulate those younger guys just so they could get their feet wet for a year or two, that I think that's pretty critical. Now that Chicago went and they tried, they signed Nick Foligno, and they brought in Pat Maroon, like some like culture sort of guys. That's great. But eventually you need somebody to be able to run beside them and help them, like as players. And and I think Chicago, to a certain extent, still looking for it. They are. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, and I wonder too about it being a player who has been asked at one point in their career to do what some of these players have been asked to do, right? Contribute offensively night after night. So Dregs, like with Celebrini in San Jose, would it be as simple as Toffoli, or just somebody who understands the pressure of having to score tonight or the team might not win?
Yeah, no, for sure. And look, you do have to look at the bigger picture here too. If we're nailing down on these kids, we're talking about San Jose in a completely different realm now than we would have a year ago. I mean, less than a year ago, we're looking at San Jose Sharks and in my side of the business, and we're like, maybe Mike Greer needs some help there. Somebody who can come in and guide him. You know what I mean? Like just how he's got to bring in some different and better pieces. And now Celebrini has the year that he's had with Will Smith and all the pieces that are clicking in San Jose. And we're looking at what Greer and the San Jose Sharks might do in the offseason to, lock down a playoff spot next year, get them closer to that contending piece. So, I mean, I guess it's all relative, and it depends on where you're at developmentally. And Macklin Celebrini he's ahead of the pile for sure.
All right. Given Masters Week, Will from Minnesota is going to chime in, says, haven't written in for a while, but I have a burning question for you. If the two of you played a doubles golf match against each other, who would you choose as your partner, and who do you think would win? Thanks for the amazing podcast. Keep it up. I hope to meet you both in person someday. Best, Will from Minnesota. So let's set the parameters here. You can't pick a pro golfer.
Yeah, sure.
You got to pick a colleague. So pick someone that you work with, a colleague of some sort. Dregs, who would you pick? And how do you like your chances against Ray?
I would pick Dave Poulin. And that's a bit of a surprise, because I think people would go, what about Jeff O'Neill? Jeff O'Neill's an excellent golfer. Tremendous. But Jeff O'Neill is not a good teammate on the golf course.
It's a chemistry issue there. Yeah.
He would just turn on me in a second. So there'd be upheaval. Duffy, I don't know. He talks good. Pooley golfs exactly the way he played, right? He just grinds out there. And, if he's got an 8-footer to make par, he's going to make that 8-footer he's an excellent teammate. I've golfed with him a fair bit. You hit a bad shot, he's patting you on the back. Don't worry about it, bud. Just hit it close. You're all good. Just, straighten things, calm down. You'll be fine. So it'd be Pooley for me, for sure.
I'm going to throw out a name here. You two guys will know. The public won't. Producer, Kevin Pratt.
Oh, KP.
Really? KP's that good?
Oh, we will smash you. Yeah. It will not. Yeah. So self-taught, uses a baseball. It won't even be close. He uses a baseball grip. You should see KP hit the ball. Now, the thing that we'd have to worry about is if it was windy, he's got a rather enormous hat because he's got a big head. Big head. So Buffalo we could get off kilter there. Yeah, we could get off kilter.
Chasing hats around.
this donkey, Kevin Pratt. So we were in Russia for the World Juniors, and this guy goes, "Oh, happy to see you, Roy Ferrari." And so for over a decade, he's called me Roy. And so I picked KP for sure. He would be my choice. I do think Duthie, you brought up Duthie, he would fold under the pressure.
Yeah. Oh, he'd crater. Yeah. Oh, would turn on you and Duthie would crater.
I've got some golf history with KP. So back in the day when I worked in Brandon and called Brandon weekends games a million years ago, he was like a standout athlete in Brandon. Like he was a superb basketball player, which might be surprising to, again, people don't know him, but all around good athlete. But he was one of the better, if not the top junior golfers in the area in Brandon as a kid. Yeah, he can get it done.
I tell you who I would not pick. Our friend over at our competition, David Amber. We were on a golf trip in the mountains with my brother and a buddy. DA had a 2-footer for about $110. He missed it by 13 feet. It was like nothing. I have never seen someone buckle. He lined up and his hands were shaking, and he had to step away from the ball, walked in circles, shaking his head and rubbing his forehead, got again and put it 13 feet past the hole. It was incredible. And to this day, I do not let DA forget about that one. So we all know one of those guys. Okay, last one. Fellas, longtime listener to the show, have to say we need more Zoom. Sneaky funny and does great work on the video. My question is about napping. Do you take them? How often? For how long? And do you look down on those who regularly nap? That comes to us from apparently a tired Michael in Winnipeg. Dregs.
Mike? Oh, go ahead, Dregs.
I don't nap often. Occasionally. Like we had a 10 p.m. Eastern Leafs regional game last Thursday. I took a nap on that day because I'm up early. I'm getting that old man alarm clock stuff right now, right? Like where it doesn't matter what time I go to bed. I'm up at 6:15 a.m. Eastern every morning. Doesn't matter what I do, Saturdays, Sundays, doesn't matter. So I don't nap often, but if I'm working a late night, then I'll try and take a nap. And it's 45 minutes to an hour, nothing more than that.
I would say 75% of my days I take a nap. I love naps. I think they're essential to my mental well-being. 30 minutes, 35 minutes. I think part of it is just habit of, I did it for forever playing. And so like Cammie and I will be sitting here and she'll be like, I need a nap. Boom, she's gone. Like, so I think it's part of it's a player thing or a habit thing. But yeah, I would say most days I'm taking a 30-minute nap.
Where do you? But are you on the couch or are you like getting right into the
fascinated by that?
Bed.
So you go back to bed. You put yourself back to bed.
Yeah.
Under the covers, or you got to be on top of the throw blanket?
Oh no, I'm going right in.
Really? That's not a nap. That's going back to bed, man. If you crawl right in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do the on top of the bed thing, but maybe with a blanket and clothed. Like I'm not disrobing and going commando in the sheets for a nap, huh?
Right in.
Pro tip for you for napping, for anybody that wants to but has trouble because you got the active brain. Have you guys ever tried using brown noise while you were trying to get to sleep?
Oh, I thought Donna was going to bring you a cup of warm milk or something.
This is the annoying part. They're good. Like that pisses me off. If your chirps were crappy, but they're good. That was a good chirp.
That's good.
Brown noise. Okay, so you put it in. It just calms. I'm gonna give you a little. You're gonna want to fall asleep here. Take a listen to this, guys. It's like you're on a plane.
Makes me want to.
It sounds like you're in. It sounds like you're in traffic. What is going on there?
Just like you just immediately go out. Brown noise. There's an app for it, guys. That was Ask Ray and Dregs anything. Don't say
It's
we
not
never
your
talked to any
backyard
folks.
because you've got train tracks going through your backyard.
Not my fault. Somebody took all the money at TSN, Dregs. I'm out of here.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Man, does he set himself up? Holy smokes.
Oh my God. Right down
Okay.
Main Street. Right down Main Street.
Favorite time of the show as we bring in Chris Sabunia. More Zuby is what we're told, and Ask Ray and Dregs anything. So we've got more Zuby here for the Tim's Hockey Challenge. Zoob. I'm starting to unravel. I am actually starting to unravel. That's what's happening before our eyes here.
This is getting ghost pepper spicy here, fellas. And
Yeah.
I want to thank my brother for that nice email that he
I wondered
sent in.
about
That was nice
Yeah.
of him. That was nice
Yeah,
of him
nice.
right in there.
His
Change
name
the
is-
name too.
His name is Michael, but not from Winnipeg. But that might be an inside joke that he would choose to be from Winnipeg to
Yes.
cover his tracks. So here's the situation, fellas. I had to look this up. January 29th, Ray trails by 8. Dregs has an 8-point lead. We're down here to 3 shows remaining in the regular season. We'll keep going, of course, through the playoffs, right to the bitter end. Ray is now within 2 with 3 shows to go. He has closed that gap, made up 2 just from last show. It was
Huge.
4. It was 4 earlier this week. So Dregs has 40. Ray's got 38. Oh my goodness, is this getting close? Shager also has made some selections throughout the year. No, he's got 26. I went over on Tuesday, so Ray's officially on. As you guys said in our chat, Ray's the Flyers and Dregs is the Red Wings.
Yeah.
And it's and the positions now, they've switched positions. That hasn't quite happened here yet, but man, it's getting close. What do you Ray, have you changed anything in your selection process?
Yes. I actually start in the third bucket
Interesting.
because I don't like having 2 players on the same team
No.
in a game. And if sometimes you get to the third bucket and it's almost a throwaway. You're like, the best guy is somebody from the same team as the first bucket. So I like the third bucket first. I get that one out of the way because there's always a lot of good choices in the first. And like the other day, I picked Max Sasson in the third bucket, and he scored against Vegas. And I'm like, no, see. And so it made me feel like for that day anyway, my strategy was good.
Have you locked in your hits, your spots for
Nope.
today?
Nope,
Okay.
haven't got them yet. I'll be doing them in as soon as you zip it.
Yeah, I'm not feeling very confident. I'm starting to waver here.
How about when you pick your guys, it says submit picks, and you go, oh, I hate my picks, and you put them in anyway, and you're like,
Yeah.
Immediate regret. And I don't think you can change it. Once they're locked, they're locked.
no,
Once you hit
I
that.
tried to change. They're
No,
not.
they're
They're
locked.
in.
Yeah, they're in. That's it. All right. Thanks,
All right,
Zibby.
good luck, fellas. This is high intrigue here. This might start getting the listeners be more interested in this than the playoff races. I think this is going to be this. We might have to move this into the headline spot next week.
Well,
Yes,
I will say
exactly.
this. I will say this. If I come back here,
Oh boy.
Dregs will be the subject of ridicule.
Yeah. Well, and I see the problem with that, and I accept it. Look, if I collapse, if I choke, then I deserve it. I deserve that ridicule. But it's multi-platform. That's where it feels like it's piling on. So it's not just on the podcast, but I'm pretty sure if you go 2 for 3 or worse, 3 for 3, I'm going to hear about this. We're all going to hear about it at some point tonight, being Thursday.
Or you will.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a day
you'll
by
hear
day
it tonight.
thing. It's not just an episode thing. So.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
Zuby. Thanks,
guys.
buddy. There's the Tim's Hockey Challenge. All right, Ray. Masters this weekend. We established that right off the top of the show. Are you golfing today, being Thursday, or tomorrow,
Yes.
Friday?
I played yesterday, shot 80, first time out. It was not bad. Made
That's pretty solid.
made 2 double bogeys in the last 3 holes that probably didn't help. And then playing today, flying to Boston tomorrow for 12:30 Eastern, early game, Tampa Boston on Saturday, big one. and then fly home. And Sunday I will be on the couch watching the Masters, and
Nothing better.
nothing better. So that's my weekend. What do you got?
Yeah, kind of the same. Kind of the same. It's a freebie. So Holly is going to Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
Katie Dreger is in another performance. Good for her. She's actually performing with the symphony orchestra in Thunder Bay. She's the soloist.
Awesome.
So looking forward to that. I am actually staying back to look after Tiny the Great Dane. And selfishly, I'll be watching a lot of golf. Who's getting who?
Yeah.
So everybody's going to have a good time. So that's what I got on store, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Good luck to Katie. Hope the show goes fabulously. Thanks for listening, everybody, and have a great weekend. Enjoy the Masters.
Yes. Thank you to our sponsors who continue to support Ray and Dregs. Our title sponsor, Tim Hortons, thank you as always. And thank you to the Canadian Brew House. Enjoy the Masters and have a safe weekend, everybody.